When you think about it, isn't it like crazy that Verdansk has been out for a month already? Like, when you actually think about it, is that not actually wild? Anyway, since it's been a month, we've got a lot of time to play it, and I've been able to develop quite an opinion on it, and I think everyone else has as well. Now, before this Verdansk change came, Jack Frags made a video going over what he believed needed to change for Warzone to be popular once again. And I would say a majority of those changes were making it more accessible for casual players. Now, he's done a review about, when was this? 4 days ago, called Did They Actually Fix COD Warzone? And it's essentially going over what he talked about in his previous one. Now, I haven't watched this entire thing, and it is long. It's about an hour long. So you're going to want a snack. You're going to want a drink for this one. We're going to go through this, and I'm going to give you all of my opinions on everything that he has to say. But like I said, it's going to be a long one, and he talks a lot, and clearly I talk a lot, as you guys know. So let's dive in. This is going to be a saga. This is a movie we're watching here. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, grab a drink. I got a little energy drink here. So let's get through this bad boy together. Let's see.
I put together a video titled "What the Hell Happened to COD Warzone?" In it, I detailed some of my personal problems with the version of the game up until that point, how it had evolved over the last 5 years, and some of the mistakes I felt they made along the way. Since then, on April 3rd, Warzone Verdansk came back and surprisingly blew away my expectations. To be honest, I was expecting barely anything to change from a gameplay perspective, but a few weeks later, I find myself addicted to the game again. So I thought it would be fun to quickly look
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
back at that video and see if some of my complaints were addressed, and then demonstrating that with some real gameplay. Summarizing the video, it started out with gameplay complexity. My point was that the version of Warzone back then was too complicated, especially for new and returning players.
100%.
Too much gear, guns to level up, and the movement system had become overly
So I'm curious what he has to say about this, because in my eyes, it's still pretty complex because there's still so many weapons in the game.
complex, leading to unpredictable and frustrating firefights. Have they fixed this? Yes, in terms of too much gear. There's way less stuff in the game now to pick up and use.
Less equipment.
No silly useless gadgets, tacticals, perk vests, etc. In terms of the movement, yes and no, I'd say. They did tweak this, slowing down the omni movement and
I think the
sliding,
movement's in a
which I
pretty good
liked,
spot.
but not going far as to remove it completely. There are still hundreds of guns in the game. 90% of them are not competitive, and I find myself just using the AK, AMAX, and HDR in my loadout.
Yeah.
That's a difficult problem to solve though, mainly because of purchased cosmetics, I'd guess. And I don't think we'll see that change until a big reset, potentially next year with Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah.
Next topic was the deviation away from a battle royale experience. My complaint was that Warzone didn't feel like a true battle royale anymore, with too many respawn options, lack of downtime for socializing, no emphasis on positioning or valuing your life, especially with so many respawn options, and finally, a relentless pace because of redeployed balloons and ziplines everywhere. As far as I'm concerned, in the new Warzone Verdansk, they have actually managed to address most of my complaints with this. It does feel like a battle royale again.
So I completely agree with what he's saying here, and I truly believe that if they already have resurgence. Big map, Warzone, Battle Royale does not need to feel like resurgence. Resurgence can be resurgence, plunder can be plunder, and big map can be big map. If you want a different type of mode, add an LTM, and that is that. And I think that solves that issue, because then for you demons who want to respawn a million times and want to play team deathmatch on a big map, you got resurgence.
Spawn options are now A, winning a gulag, B, being brought back by a teammate, or C, a jailbreak. So your life matters again, positioning matters again. You can't fly across the map in a few seconds anymore on a balloon. I expect that they will add more building rappels in the future.
They already said that they will.
But I'm cool with that, providing that they are sparse and vertical only. I also brought up inconsistency. Each year a new COD game is integrated into Warzone, resulting in a lack of gameplay consistency and a confusing experience for players. There's no through line in terms of what the base level Warzone experience was. It remains to be seen if this will be the case come October, November this year.
We won't know until actually December of this year. December this year, whenever they do the next integration with Warzone.
When the new Black Ops game releases. But I have heard in various interviews that the designers are intent on this being a bit of a clean break and building Warzone back up as a baseline from this point. So I hope they can maintain the current gameplay pillars going forward, because I feel like it's in a good spot right now. Useless vehicles was next. Vehicles which were once a fun and integral part of the gameplay had become redundant. Have the changes they made fixed this? Absolutely. I'm using vehicles in every match now, as are other squads. I've hit Humvees with RPGs, had insane car chases, launched javelins at fleeing quad bikes, and sniped helicopter pilots. Vehicles are useful again.
I see some people complaining about this specifically in solos. And if you remember back to when Verdansk was originally out, a lot of people complained about the helicopters, the cargo trucks, and a bunch of the other vehicles as well. I think this is a much better state for the game to be in than redeploy balloons for readjusting and moving around the map. And the reason for that is because the vehicles allow worse players to be able to reposition better. You don't have to have an amazing aim or be able to beam someone to rotate to another side. If you have a vehicle, there's other options, smokes. You don't have to be a demon to succeed. And this meta does that more than anything else.
Fun to use, and they spice up the nature of the sandbox that we're playing in. They are also incredibly valuable assets for relocating or getting away from the gas now that the redeployment balloons have gone. Bad audio was a big part of the January video. The audio in Warzone was terrible.
Audio's really good now.
Difficult to hear footsteps and understand the environment. Have they fixed this? Mostly yes, but a bit of no. This area actually surprised me the most, as I wasn't expecting any difference.
That's what I said.
However, it feels like there's been a significant change in the audio design department when I'm playing.
There definitely has. I don't care what anyone says about this. You can say that the audio is garbage still, and I guarantee you I will get at least 3 comments already with people saying the audio is garbage. There has been 2 gunfights that I've gone into since this launched where I heard no audio, which is unacceptable. Like your game should be consistent, but compared to what we have seen ever before in Verdansk Warzone big map, that is incredible, like compared to what it used to be.
Solos and duos especially, I feel like that I can now accurately track opponents, whether they're around me side to side or above and below me. The sounds are more distinct now. I haven't had a moment where I felt a squad or player sprinted up to me and killed me without me hearing a thing. This is good, but when I play trios and quads, occasionally, I'm just going on feeling here, I think the footstep sounds are not taking priority and instead being drowned out by geometry they shouldn't be, or far away ambient noises, kill streaks, announcements, etc. So there's still work to be done here in my opinion, but it's 1,000 times better than it was before. Next topic was aesthetics. COD, generally speaking, has lost its original identity and aesthetic, with too many outlandish skins and a lack of authenticity. I also suggested adding a client-side toggle switch for only showing default military-type skins. Did that change at all when they brought Verdansk back? No. Did I expect...
So here, I'm going to say this, and people are going to disagree. For some reason, the skins on this map, maybe because the map seems more realistic than like an Area 99 or even like a Rebirth Island, the skins don't bother me as much on this map. And I know that sounds so dumb, like I sound like an idiot talking here, but for some reason on this map that maybe it's just I enjoy the map more, so these like little things like unrealistic skins don't bother me as much. It's completely possible. I still think it's like for example, yesterday I dropped in with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and a Bulldog, and I'm like, what are we doing here? But then as soon as we're out of that plane, I'm like, it doesn't, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No. Does that make me not want to play? No. Again, I feel like this relates back to people buying historical and new cosmetics, and that complicates things. There's been recent rumors of a toggle switch, but that didn't come to fruition.
It's not going to happen.
Maybe in the future, we'll have to see. I reckon it'll take that hard reset that I mentioned from Modern Warfare 4 before COD starts to look like it used to again. And please, I'm begging you, update that bloody Terminator skin again, or just nuke it from existence like Skynet. Moving on, another big topic in that video.
Yeah, the Terminator got nerfed.
Cheating at that point in Warzone was rampant, and it's been awful on many occasions throughout the years, and the community has definitely lost faith in Activision's ability to address the issue. Has the cheating situation improved? Just going off my personal experience and watching other people play, I want to say yes and no. Yes, only
that's a cheater.
Because at the end of Verdansk it was really, really bad. It's definitely improved since then with Verdansk. I don't feel like there's a cheater in every match. The last couple of days though, I did play against a cheater in my games in quads, and on the same day, I saw other content creators being killed by rage hackers, which I just don't understand. If they have statistical anti-cheat in the game, how is that possible? COD have said though that they've pursued more legal action on some of the big cheat developers, and
so that actually, again, I'll pull that up actually in a second here, but today they announced that they have gone after another anti-cheat and sued them into the ground, and they have shut down. So that actually, what they're doing there seems to be working more than any of their actual anti-cheat. is using lawyers. Who would have guessed? But yeah, that seems to be working. Personally, I think I've seen one cheater since in a month, which is way better than it was. Still not great, and it still makes you question every gunfight you get into. If I'd seen none, I'd be like, okay, they did something good here. But since I've seen one, there's probably been more that I just didn't pick up on. And then there's going to be like people that I question because they're still in the game. So it's obviously still going to be a problem, but I truly do believe that it's better. Also, I'm going to pull that tweet up. Give me one second.
Somehow shut down. I'm sure they'll be back though. But they did also introduce new anti-cheat systems, which obviously they haven't outlined in any detail. So while the answer is more of a yes for now, I think it's better. I have seen a couple of cheaters, and I hope that they...
So here it is. Let me pull this up. I'm clicking the wrong buttons here. All right. So this is from Charlie Intel, but it's Call of Duty updates. It says... A message from Team Ricochet. Earlier this week, we detected a cheat vendor that was offline was attempting to return. So one that they already took down. Today, we shut them down again by issuing a large-scale ban wave against their customers. We've shut down over 20 cheat makers since Black Ops 6 launch, and we are not slowing down. We will continue to pursue those who work to compromise the integrity of Call of Duty. What I personally think that they should do here is Call of Duty, and in fact all video games, should hire hackers to hack the cheating companies. Like literally hack into their software and shut it down. Pay them more, like overpay them, and make videos about it. Because then you can do a documentary of shutting down the cheaters, and it would give me some like wicked content to watch. If you want, I'll do the hiring. You just have to give me the money. We can make this happen. But yeah, they're shutting down the hackers and the companies themselves via legal action. And I don't know what they did with that one, what they said there, but they're doing something.
They can keep a lid on this and start winning that endless fight again, because if it gets out of control like it has in the past, I certainly won't be playing for much longer.
No one will.
Neither will many others. It can quickly spiral if they aren't on top of it. Next topic was skill-based matchmaking. The idea that the skill-based matchmaking system feels manipulative and leads to a lack of gameplay variety, and the notion of COD being a casual game that you could treat as a toy, pick up and play with, had disappeared. Each game of quick play is essentially ranked, but you just can't see your rank. Skip to April 2025. Does the game still have SBMM? Yes, it absolutely isn't going anywhere, but I think it's good to know about this and educate yourself on it. Know that it's there and how it works, how it feeds into your playtime, game to game. Generally, you'll find that playing at non-peak times of the day and in squads with big skill disparity will break the system somewhat. They did add a casual BR mode though, which has been very popular with players.
Hugely popular.
The lobby mostly full of bots. I've not tried it yet, but I have friends who are enjoying it a lot and say that it's pretty fun. Nice to have that option there. Bugs and server performance was next. The game at that point was plagued by bugs and suffered from poor server performance. Is that better now? You know what? For me in the UK, sometimes I get a UK server, sometimes I get Europe. Server performance has been very reliable so far. There's been one instance I can remember where
my servers have been great, except oddly today, my pre-game lobbies were like flipbook laggy. As soon as I'm in the game, it's fine, which I guess is okay. But yeah, servers this year compared to Urzikstan, just Urzikstan alone, have been better, but the tick rate is still too low. Rent's too damn high, okay, and tick rate's too damn low, so you gotta fix that.
Apart from that, smooth sailing. I can't speak for other regions, of course. Bugs, that's also been pretty good. I did get stuck on a loadout once, and sometimes you can't revive players that are down.
Oh yeah, I've had a good amount of bugs. I've had where I can't plate up. For some reason, it just doesn't let me armor plate. I've had where I can't get revived, and we would have won a game, I think, if I would have been able to get revived. And so yeah, that stuff's frustrating, but they're minimal compared to what we've seen with other launches.
It's pretty bad. Typically though, bug situation's been okay for me. Loss of trust was mentioned in that video too. There's a general lack of trust from the community due to the focus on monetization over game quality. This is a tricky one. I want to say that this update has clearly brought many people back to the game, and they're still playing it. If you look on social media, Reddit, etc., the sentiment is overall very positive right now. Even views are up on YouTube and Twitch. There have been interviews with the game developers too, where they've stated
my Warzone videos about like story and Easter eggs and stuff on Ink Slasher have been doing better than my other Call of Duty, like Black Ops 6, other Call of Duty game story videos. for the first time in three years.
The
So
numbers are off the
that
charts,
says a lot.
and Warzone being fun again has actually led to a big spike in sales of Black Ops 6. In that respect, in terms of positive sentiment, it's definitely restored some of the trust, but many people are waiting to see if they can keep this up. COD has burnt many bridges that some people aren't willing to rebuild, and me personally, I just want them to stay focused on the gameplay and the player experience.
Just
Get
fun.
everything else. Hopefully, that's how you get the trust back. And then finally, I did a little bit of a conclusion at the end of the video suggesting that Warzone needs to be separated from the main Call of Duty titles to address most of the issues and regain its former glory. Have they done this? No, not entirely yet, but the fact that they adjusted some of the guns, nerfed the Omni movement and stripped out much of the Black Opsiness from the game, maybe they're going to commit to making this more of a standalone product going forward. It absolutely should be. I don't want to see it adopt
like they
all
are.
of the new gameplay mechanics from a new COD game once every year going forward. I suppose you could argue that one deviation they made, for example, was the lighting. I don't feel like the map looks Black Opsy anymore, and they've massively improved lighting in dark areas where previously you could hide if you were wearing dark skins like Rogue.
I might do a video about like the before and after lighting on Verdansk, because I truly believe that the lighting in the original Verdansk aesthetically, visually, was better. It looked better, but it didn't play better. It played much, much worse because you couldn't see into buildings. You couldn't see while you were in buildings half the time, but it looked dope. So I actually think this version of Verdansk in a lot of areas looks worse. And I will maybe show that in a future video. But as a whole, they have fixed a lot. And I think based off of what we are seeing, that they are going to separate Warzone from the mainline Call of Duty game. I think there is going to be crossover in a way, but I don't know what that way is yet. And I think weapons are they need a better solution to weapons. Like, I think that's got to be the first thing on the radar right now. To have 200 weapons in the game is dumb. Like, it's so stupid. And like, if I was to pick one issue for them to take on, like going into the next Call of Duty game, it's that. And I really think it needs to be done. And I think they could do a lot of fun things with it. I really do. I think limiting the amount of weapons per season that are available could be really cool. I've seen a lot of people argue that and say that they don't like it because of weapons that they purchased. I bet you there's one of them in the comments right now. But I think they need a way to freshen up the game like that. Because imagine if Season 3 Reloaded or Season 4, they just said, okay, now you can't use the AMAX, you can't use the Grau, you can't use the AK, and you can't use the Kilo or the HDR. But we've buffed these weapons so they're going to feel familiar. Now you can use like the Krig, the Kar 98, the LR, like all of these weapons. And then we've removed the RPG and the HE1, but then the Joker is still there. So now the Joker is more meta, like doing things like that and then bringing weapons back, adjusting them. I think they should be able to do that more often. But then the actual problem is the leveling up of weapons, right? People spend their time leveling up one weapon and then they remove that weapon. So that causes issues in and of itself. So that's another question there. So I don't know. I don't know what the right response is to all of this.
Overall, though, the whole package they delivered with Verdansk 2025,
oh, what a dive.
Impressed. They fixed a lot of my personal issues with the game. I went from being somebody who didn't play Warzone anymore, didn't even have it installed, to hopping on with multiple different squads for several hours a day. I'm making content on it now.
I stream it again. I enjoy streaming it again.
I'm getting hyper competitive when I feel like it. The sandbox feeling is 100% back. It's fun for me again, and I want them to succeed from here and not fudge it up again. Time will tell. Hopefully they can maintain this momentum. And that was probably the longest intro I've ever done for a video. But the reason that I
don't think he's going to be talking about this the rest of the time. I'm guessing he's just going to be playing through a game of Warzone, but we'll see.
Put this intro in here was that I've had some very interesting games on Warzone again. This day I played with Broken Machine and we set out to play duos. And I feel like these three games I'm about to show you personify many of the great changes.
Okay, so yeah, so the rest of this is just going to be live gameplay. So I said this video was going to be over an hour long. I guess I was wrong. Clearly you could tell that by the length of the video, but I agree with pretty much everything he's saying in here. Like, there's a couple of things that I think really do need some work. I think Verdansk as a map is good. I think the base of the gameplay is good. I think the struggle and the problem that they're going to have moving forward is how are they going to retain players? They have done a good base. Now, where do they go from here? LTMs, I think, is number one. I think you should have a weekly LTM. that's different every week, even if it's a small change. Upping health, upping armor, reducing gravity, adding some sort of movement mechanic, adding extra vehicles, taking away vehicles, just little things like that every single week to switch it up, give people something new to play. That's number one. Intel, number two. Easter eggs, number three. Those two kind of go hand in hand. If you have weekly intel, everyone's going to log in at least once a week, grab the intel, grab that item, get a bit of story, move forward. You have Easter eggs. Maybe make them difficult. Maybe make it so that you have to do a bunch of different steps to unlock a bunker in a game. Make it difficult to do. There's another one to keep people playing. So that's not even like win-wise. Then you need to, I would say at least once a month, update the map. Change a POI. Add in a location. Do something to the map that makes it fresh. Maybe add a day and night cycle. Do these things. Add things. Change things. Don't be afraid to do that. And if it sucks, I think this is actually the biggest thing. This is actually come here. This is actually the biggest thing. If you fuck up, if you screw up the game, just go back on it. If you mess up the entire thing with a lighting change, with a weapons change, just revert it. Get rid of it. Act like it never happened. I don't care. But the problem is as we screwed up so much, update after update after update, you wouldn't revert any of the things. You wouldn't go back on it. You wouldn't admit you're wrong. It's just like your girlfriend. Call of Duty is just like your girlfriend. It's a toxic relationship and she never admits that she's wrong.